Crazy Town Podcast. I'm Jonas.
I'm TNT Don. I'm Mike the Explosive One. Let's crack into another one.
TNT.
Yo.
So, Austin's a pretty crazy place. And so it was like about a week or two ago. I was chilling. I was working my real job. And I got a text message out of the blue.
Okay.
And it said...
Single females in your area?
It said, do you need D pills? Because we got them. Text this number. It said, this is the, something like this is the APD, like Austin Police Department. There is a house on the block of X area, not all that far away from here.
Sure.
And the Austin PD and the FTA will be detonating the explosives in this house.
Oh, I did hear about the house detonation.
So I got the text and I was like, what the F? Like, okay, whatever. I ignored it. I thought it was spam. 5 seconds later, I get a phone call from the Austin Police Department. I didn't answer.
I wouldn't.
Left a message. And the message said the same thing. Basically, stay away from this area, like whatever. Then I got a text about 30 minutes later that said that it had been completed and got a call again. The voicemail said it had been completed. And I forgot about it and whatever. So I was at an event and I was talking to one of my friends and they were like, well, first off, why did you get that message? You don't really live by there. And I'm like, I don't know. Like, I don't know how, I'm registered. I have like an electric bill in my name. So they probably just use anyone in that general vicinity. Yeah. So basically, I guess like this dude, it was like a 65-year-old dude, had been in jail and spent like 6 years before, been arrested numerous times for building explosive devices. And his neighbor called on him and reported him. And they came to his house, and I guess like whatever, they didn't really say what it was and didn't really say like the motive or any of that. And they detonated the thing in his house because it was like, I guess it was safer to detonate it than try to disarm it or move it. And I guess from the story, the dude was like 2 weeks off from being off parole from his former thing. And now, so this man is going to jail forever.
Why do you want to make bombs?
I don't know. And multiple times.
Do you think that's like a neurodivergent thing? Do you think maybe he has autism?
Like he's just like into building explosives?
Yeah,
like
man.
he should get a job building explosives then, not do it at his house.
How do you get a job building explosives?
Well, first you don't go to jail for it.
You don't walk into the interview like with a bunch of examples.
Here's my portfolio.
No formal training, but I've got some samples.
Walks in with a bucket of bleach and a aluminum foil and some timers.
He's tin foil and some fertilizer.
Yeah,
I don't know what you need to make a bomb, honestly.
But like, it's wild that they just like blew the damn house up. Like it just detonated it. They cleared out the area and
yeah, it seems weird only because like, how do you know like the degree of explosive that it's going to like cause?
I mean, they're professionals. Like the cops know.
But you don't know what's in the house 100%. You could have explosive in the walls. This man's crazy.
Yeah, but my guess is they probably have some sort of like enclosure they can put around it and explode it that like withstands the blast.
You didn't see? There was a video for it. I could not find it. I did try to look for it, man. I know what it looked like, but I didn't see it. But there was a video that was on like the Austin subreddit that I saw, and it just kind of looked like the house. Looked like the house kind of like had a hiccup. It's just like, and like the house kind of like moved a little bit. Yeah. But it was a very controlled explosion.
It's like, but you know what, man? If you're building explosives in your house, I hope your neighbor does tell on you.
Yeah. Me too, Jonas.
Yeah. Yeah.
Me too.
Yeah. Like you deserve that.
You familiar with the Anarchist Cookbook?
Yeah. 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 I remember that from back in the day.
Yeah. So yeah, I hope you do. Yeah, because like, what are you making explosive for? For why?
Right.
For why? What was his motivation?
And then what we started talking about was like, it's like, that's the scariest part about buying a house is like,
you don't know if there's bombs in
it? No, you don't know who your neighbors are.
Oh, yeah.
Like you buy this house, which is a lifetime commitment. And then you have an insane person as a neighbor. Like you live in an apartment, you have a bad neighbor, you can move.
Yeah.
A year later, you can be out. You can change apartments. You can like do whatever. You buy a bad house, you got to deal with that crazy ass neighbor forever.
Forever.
Or like for the example, I was talking to the people at the event I was at. Like that Amanda Berry shit in Cleveland. Like, he had the women trapped in his house for like a decade, and homeboy's like throwing barbecues and shit. He's like a good neighbor. Everyone thinks he's a good dude, and like, you have women trapped in your fucking house. Like, how wild is that your neighbor is just a sociopath, psychopath, building bombs, having people or like the story of the woman who like chained her stepson up in his bedroom and shit, like, and they're just hanging out.
You make a valid point for apartment living, Jonas. It
Bro.
seems like people who live in apartments ain't gonna be building bombs, ain't gonna have a hostage. There ain't a room for no bombs or hostages.
Right. You don't have like a cave in your basement that you treat people prisoner in.
Exactly.
Like,
you can't do any of that stuff.
Most people live in an apartment a year or two and then are out. Like, most people ain't like me who stays in the same apartment for a very long time. But it just like, if I'm going to buy a goddamn house and my neighbor is a crazy person, I'm going to be so pissed. Unless you see him in the yard with undies sunbathing or something, like, you don't know that they're an insane person.
That's true. I mean, I feel like most people in apartments are kind of crazy too, but they just don't have the room to like facilitate their crazy.
Yeah, like, I can't have a bandsaw and be like building wood shit in our living room because there ain't nowhere to do it.
Building a wooden pillory to keep your female hostages
Jesus,
in. You
no.
can't do that. You
Yeah.
can't because
Like,
you don't have a room.
It's wild
You
that
make
like
a good point, man.
like,
So
I
only
don't-
sane people live in apartments.
goddamn
Pretty
right.
Pretty much what you're saying.
Yeah, like, well, and here's the thing too, like, ain't nobody, like, you ain't having band practice in an apartment. Like, people have band practice in their house.
That's true.
Man, like, I don't want that. I don't want to listen to your bad band at any time. Like, it's before dark. I don't give a shit if it's any time.
It's Soul Siphon.
It's call back. But bros, it's Soul Siphon. We got horns. And yeah, dude. I don't want a house. I do, but I don't. Like, I don't want to take care of a yard.
You don't want to pay taxes.
I don't want a pool that I have to take care of all the time. I want a pool that I can just go get in.
You don't want to pay taxes.
I don't want to pay taxes.
Especially Austin.
Yeah, but I want
Austin
equity.
land taxes.
Yeah, Texas
Crazy.
land taxes, property
you want
taxes are
equity
high.
to give to who?
Well, that's what I mean.
Okay,
Here's what I want a house for. I want to be able to have a smoker and my own grill.
That's like the weakest reason.
Well, right, exactly. You
Doesn't
ain't
even
wrong.
make
I can
sense.
rent a house and have that shit too.
Exactly.
I'll rent a house. Because if you rent a house, you can still move out if your neighbor crazy.
This is my thing, Jonas. It's like, yeah, for our grandparents and shit, when like, you know, they could work a 8-hour job and like take care of their entire family and like build a future and everything.
One income could support having a house and a car and taking vacations, and the wife
Exactly.
stayed home, or whoever stayed home and like cooked and cleaned and
Yeah, like that kind of stuff made sense. Now, it's not to say is that it still doesn't make sense to a certain subset of people, but we don't have any children. So if I were to purchase a house, own the house, own the land, when I die, who's getting that?
or when you get too sick to take care of yourself, get going to home, the government is taking that shit.
Exactly. Exactly. It's not going to my family. It's not going to my lineage. It's not going to my bloodline. It's going back into the system.
Yeah, because it's your asset, and you have to like give that up because you don't have many kids to take care of you.
So I don't really see the issue or the point in it, but and like you've only strengthened my resolve when you tell me about the potential for a crazy resident or a neighbor.
Right, and then you got to be the one to narc, and then you feel like bad.
Yeah, man, because you want to put a meth lab in your house, man. You could blow that. It should kill us all,
You
man.
trying
What
to you trying to Heisenberg out here? I'm just trying to live. I'm trying to have a barbecue, and you're Heisenberging in my goddamn neighborhood.
Yeah, like for real. What are you doing? Don't even tell me you got bombs. I want to see them on the like 4th of July.
It's like the
Let's get
same
it.
shit as like if you kill someone, don't tell me about it. If you building bombs, don't tell me about it.
Yeah, that part.
Neighbor comes over, he's like, "Tuk, tuk, tuk, you guys see this new explosive I built?" You're like, buddy, now I gotta call the cops on you.
After you set it off in the parking lot. So
Yeah.
you got to set one off, and then I'm gonna call the cops.
Yeah, exactly. So I don't know, man. It's wild. I just like I've lived in apartments basically my whole life, like since I was an adult. And I've been very lucky that I have not had an insane neighbor or a super loud neighbor, or like I've had pretty quiet apartments.
You know what's crazy is that me as well, Jonas, and the one time that I lived in a house with a friend who was purchasing a house, and I was just kind of helping them with rent, and I was going to college at the time.
Just staying in a spare room or whatever.
Yeah, the one time I did that is when we had the craziest, most just like meth-ridden, cracked out neighbors, and they would just come and knocking on our door, screaming about how just
Exactly.
like oh my God, he hit me again. Like, lady, if you don't fucking call the police, like
Right,
why
like-
am I being dragged into this?
Yeah, dude. I don't know, man. It's wild. So,
Neighbors, bro.
anyways, that's all the time we have for this episode. Please make sure to like and subscribe for Jonas.
TNT.
We out.